Just give me a few seconds there, right? So I want to make sure that we're up and running. All right, so here we are. Now, let me just do a double check of the audio. Yeah, just did that. All right, so without further ado, yeah. Now, see, you see why the dress rehearsal is important. Let me see if I can touch the camera just a little bit. What are you doing? There you go. Trying to embarrass me, like, what are you doing? All right. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, since we all know pi, let's make this art. Right? Let's make this a real conversation about education, right? There was a question that some of my primary school students asked me at one point. And man, I tell you, life is really funny. Because you have to be prepared for everything to be temporary. Yeah? So, rule number one, when it comes to anything, whether it be your latest teaching job, your latest 9 to 5, whatever it is, don't get too attached. Don't get too comfortable. Because for whatever reason or another, you may decide to leave on your own, or you might get kicked to the curb. You never know. And so, and that's the thing. If we're going to contextualize it, think about a monogamous relationship. You're in it for how many years? Yeah, you have the kids, you have the house, you have the car. You have assets together, all these things. And it's at that point, wife says to you, look, she wants a divorce. You spent your entire life devoted to this. And now, all of it is going away. So that anxiety, the feeling of being blindsided and all of those things, life devastates you with those revelations because what? You put all your eggs in one basket. And you told yourself that this is it. That there's nothing else. And guess what? That approach is also synonymous, if not nearly identical, to what people do with, well, not my name, but with the suffix of my name, with teaching. Oh, yes, I like it here. I'm comfortable. Da, da, da. And then one day, for whatever reason or another, whether it is that you did something to upset one of the parents that they answer to, and they might just say, look, we're going to throw you under the bus for this parent because this parent spends a lot of money on this school and we can't afford that. So it's either them or you, we're picking you. Wait, give me 1 second there. Yeah, sorry about that. So what I'm saying to you is this. What I have here, and I'm very transparent in everything that I do. So there are 3 pages that I've dedicated to education. This page is where I provide services for teachers, long story short. right? 3 of them, running ads for teachers, managing the social media content for teachers, and writing lesson plans for teachers. I've rebranded, and the reason for that is very simple. I understand what teachers have gone through, what they're going through, and if you want to learn how to do some of the things that I will do for you here, then of course, I'm going to write that on the board. Yeah? I'm going to write that on the board so you can have that understanding. All right? But yeah, let's see if I have black. No, that's a blue. This looks like an old black. Oh yeah. Don't. It's okay. You know what I think. So whenever, all right, this is what I used to do on Bossman teaching. I don't do that here anymore, right? So Bossman teaching addresses the teachers. First person tutor addresses the students. And then we still learn addresses the community. So it's a huh. Yeah, I'm going to bring certain dreams to reality. One of my late friends who passed away was supposed to be a part of We Still Learn. And every time that I do content with We Still Learn, I always make sure to include the picture that has her in the center of everything. Because if she were still here, she would still be, you know, a part of what's going on. So, this is a bad habit of mine. If I find that I can do this with my hand, I'll just do it. You know, it's fine. So, let me get to writing. Let me get to writing. Hold on. Let me stop my camera for a second. All right. Because I don't want to have these awkward moments of moving in front of the camera and blocking the vision and blocking the light. Right. So, all right. So let's see. So let me start by doing this, right? So we have the person that serves the teacher. Sorry about that. That looks awkward, right? Yeah. The person that serves the teacher, right here. Yeah. The person that serves the student. And then I have no idea what just happened. I swear, like, you know, you ever have that good day in class where you finally get the entire class to behave, and then not one student come and ruin everything for everybody? Yeah, that's what just happened. All right. Yeah. Yeah, this marker just decided at the very last instant. Yeah, because I was on my way, you know. I was on my way. I just decided, yeah. So yes. So we have that. Now, when I want to get fancy, obviously I can, you know, pause, unpause. You know what works. You know what I always do, right? So where do you go? Where do you go to get service on behalf of the teacher? The place where you go for that is, so first I wrote the question, now I write the answer. Well, of course, I have to write one in front. And the 1 is mathematical. Right? If you multiply 1 by anything, it results in anything. So if you multiply 1 by Bossman teaching, it's just Bossman teaching. So, you know, it's consistent with the mathematics, yeah? So just putting that information out there. Now, services on behalf of the student. So let's go again. That's going to be, oh, let me be specific now. Oh my God. All right. Now you're probably wondering what's going on here. This here is a 0. This here, another 0. So the 0 replacing O to spell only. 0 replacing O to spell 1. And then a 1 for the first. Mind you, I might be able to do the same thing here. Why not? You know, let it stand out a little bit. There you go. Right? So there's that. Then there's the entire educational community, which is a combination of the two. But specifically, the things that I do for you at Bossman Teaching, I teach the teachers how to do that over here. Right? So that's what I mean by the educational community. Because the idea behind We Still Learn is that parents still learn, students still learn, teachers still learn, therefore, all are we still learn. And that is the answer to this question. The good thing with this one though is that it's very straightforward. You just write we still learn, right? So WI, spell the word still. Why that look so close? That look too close. All one, all one word. That look like an M, right? Let's fix that. It's an R. Well, you know what? Let me write the R a little bit different. Now, you don't have to capitalize it. I just did that so that you know that that's an R, right? So these are the answers to all of those questions, right? So each page will have that purpose, right? Services for the teacher, services for the student, right? And of course, an entire community. This is where we do work and play, right? We teach our students and teachers how to be content creators over here. We include them in the creation. So we could do like behind the scenes of how we make the videos, then showing you the outcome, the result, the actual video that came as a result of the behind the scenes, and having a thriving education community. That's the idea behind We Still Learn. Right? Now, maybe part of the reason why I've not done so many videos at We Still Learn is because it would be very embarrassing if I talk about we, that is, you know, Jamaican dialect, right? JSE, as they call it in PEP, Jamaican Standard English, right? The idea of having this pluralized, sorry, having this pluralized, and then I'm the only person you see, kind of embarrassing. So what I would prefer is to have everyone that I recruit as part of the team to just make that kind of content and yeah, just keep the ball rolling where that's concerned. So over here, you'll get full transparency from me when it comes to like. So the purpose of Bossman teaching is to show you what I've created for myself and how I can facilitate helping you in those endeavors. So if you already have a teaching brand, but you want it to go further, then look no further than going to yours truly, Bossman Teaching. All right? Now, if you would like to learn how to build it, so if you see, that's why it's called We Still a Learn. So you want to learn how to build the brand, then you go over here. But if you've already built it and you just need somebody to give you the push, right? Somebody to just manage, give you a monthly and annual content strategy so that you can have your and this is the thing. We don't need to be blinded by numbers. Don't be blinded by views, follows, comments, and shares. Because nothing is worse than padding. Meaning you have a whole bunch of people talking about supporting you. But who's actually you understand? It don't make sense you have 1,000 followers and then when you say, hey, come and join my class, and you only see like 10 people. Do the maths on that. 10 over 1,000 is like 1 in 100. You know what I mean? Yeah. But that's a game. You have to send out 100 resumes just to get 1 response. Yeah. It's an inverse proportionality. You know, being sick is not fun. It's not. Because for whatever reason, my enunciation is completely gone. It's like my R's don't work anymore. And I'm trying to ignore it. Like I'm genuinely trying to ignore my own dialectical mishaps. I'm not having fun. I'm not, but yeah, you know, here we are. Here we are. So for services related to the teacher, here you go. Services related to the student, here we go. For the entire educational community, right? Teaching students and teachers how to be content creators. And we're not just working, we're also playing. So this is work and play, right? Work and play. Because one of the things that's killing everybody right now is that they're not enjoying their life, right? And sometimes you take inspiration from other creators. You have board teachers, BORED teachers. They're an inspiration for some of the things that I want to do. I was still learn. There's this guy called B Dallas. I just saw a lot of his content over the past couple of years. And he makes all of these skits with his students. And I don't know, they look grown. I can't believe they're students. They look grown, you know. But anyway, he makes a lot of skits about the absurdity of the names and like how they write the names, you know. Like there's this girl's name. I go right on the board so you can see it. I think she wrote her name as the wrong mark I'm using, you know. Father God, the one when now work. All right. So she wrote her name like this. No, like. Because by doing that, it eliminates the need for that. That's redundant. That's how she wrote her name. Now pay attention to this. The reason why her name makes sense, right? Roman numerals, right? So what is this name? So he's there like Sevelin, and she's like, she look at him very annoyed. She's like, Caitlin, like he was like he was supposed to know, you know. That's what I love about the content that's made at that guy's name is B Dallas. I think he's on Instagram, and I don't know if he's on YouTube too. I don't know. I know for sure he should be on Instagram and TikTok, I believe. But yeah, his work is phenomenal, you know, and yeah, you can see he's a man that takes pride in, you know, he takes pride in being a teacher. You can see. And that's another topic. So, oh, we're gonna get into that. You know what? Let me do a wardrobe change for that one. You saw what just happened a while ago? That level of embarrassment. Like, what just happened? You see that? Why? Why? You know how hard I work to make sure that the camera is somewhere where that don't happen? Like, I'm calling myself out on everything. All right. No, you can't see it. At least I hope you can't. I hope not. All right. There we go. So I'm gonna keep talking to you while I do a wardrobe switch, right? So yeah, one of the problems that a lot of people have, and I've seen a lot of discourse on it on TikTok, a lot of teachers having literal meltdowns at their school, like crying because oh the kids are so mean or whatever the case is, you know. And I don't know. There might be cultural differences that would make that impossible for a Jamaican teacher to just break down in tears. Like well, no, I think I think maybe because just being alive in Jamaica is already it's already about survival from the jump. Like just crossing the road, you're risking your life. So we can't risk with life every day. Being in front of these kids who are rude and offensive, and it don't mean it's nothing because I almost lost my life crossing the road to get to you for you to disrespect me. So truthfully, what can you do to me that hasn't already been done? Like, nah, you can't disrespect me any further because I'm already at a space mentally where I'm nearly dead. I'm grateful to be alive. So you can't make me feel bad. Oh, I can't control my class. Look here. You know, let's just be honest. People want you to control the zoo. That's what they want you to do. They want you to control the zoo. Last time I checked, you did not get a degree in zookeeping. Okay? You did not get a degree in being a circus ringmaster who has a whip to slap the bears and lions and elephants into submission. That is not what your job description is. Your job description is not to literally whip these animals into shape so that they can be prepared for the weekly entertainment. Balance on this beach ball and jump through that hoop. No. And what has happened, and I know this for a fact, because you pride yourself on your job, and your job is your identity, and this is all you have, and that's my purpose for rebranding this page, right? My purpose for rebranding this page and having compartmentalization, right? So therefore, sorry about that. Oh Lord. Yeah, I just freaked out everybody in the room. My dog literally just got up. I have a magnetic chessboard and it fell off. So yeah. Maybe I'm a little bit too transparent, but that's my personality. It's not gonna change. So, what am I gonna do at this point? No. I'm not gonna fool myself. Right? Not fooling myself. Just like how I'm dedicated to the point where every time I put on some, clothes, I make sure that they're washed, they're ironed. Like I treat this literally like a 9 to 5. Like I'm in my house and I'm dressed up like I'm going to somebody's job, but it's my job. I'd rather dress the best for my job, than dress the best for yours. Or I'll put in all the effort for me, Call me selfish, but wait. See, now look at all that. Hold on. I don't want that. There you go. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second part of Since We All Know Pi, Let's Make This Art. All right. My laziness has gotten the better of me. I wonder if I can write in red. Let's see. You know. I think you can see it. I think so. Give me a second there. Since we all know I. There we go. Since we all know pi, let's make this art. Yeah. Yeah. I'm basically just answering some of the issues that I've seen raised on TikTok regarding teachers, and they tell you that the kids just want to see you crash out. They tell you that the person who cares the most loses. I can tell you my personal experiences. I can tell you. And this is one of the reasons why I encourage you to build your own brand. You want to learn how to do that? Here you go. You go to Still Learn to learn how to do that. I have no problem teaching teachers how to do that. So there you go. All right. Now for kids that are interested in preparing for, all of their PEP subjects, CSEC mathematics, even chess reading and probably solving a Rubik's Cube, hey, you go to only one Person Tutor. You can actually just type Person Tutor. It will pop up anyway, Facebook and YouTube. But I'll show you how to do that anyhow, right? So there you go. And then, of course, I already built my own brand, as you can see. And all of these are mine. But this is singular, plural, right? Singular service on behalf of the teachers, singular service on behalf of the students, plural service on behalf of us all, because all of us still are there. You might even come and teach me something that I never know. Yeah? No. Why is this discussion important? Because I've heard of the stories with teachers having a meltdown, standing outside the classroom crying because students were mean to them, all of these things. You know why? Because they know how administrators are going to look at them. They're going to go, oh, you can't control these kids and da-da-da-da-da, and they're going to feel like their job is at risk and all of these things. But let's be honest. You're never going to be criticized by someone doing better than you, someone doing more than you. If they could control those kids, they'd come in, show you how to get it done, and walk out the room. Okay, but they've not done that. They only tell you that you're not doing it. Sorry. Good Lord. Yeah, recovering from sickness is it's not a fun thing, but it is what it is, right? So the question is, how do you stop yourself from sobbing on the outside of a classroom? How do you stop yourself from doing that? You stop yourself from doing that by having something for yourself. That's what you do. You don't give your all to them and leave yourself with nothing. Because at the end of the day, all right, when you work harder, do you get a bonus at the end of the year? Probably not. And even if you do, so what? It goes back into buying your resources anyway. It's not like you get to use it, So I'm not saying don't work hard. I'm not saying don't do your best. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying learn how to be like athletes. When you're a Usain Bolt or a Saffa Powell or a Justin Gatlin or whoever, you don't run 100% in the heats and the semis. You don't run 100%. You don't do that. Because by the time you make it to the finals, you'll have nothing left, injuries, and that's it. You're out of the race. I made that mistake several times. And I never had I never had the proper guidance up here. I only knew how to do the physical act of sprinting. I didn't know the psychology and the strain that you're actually putting on your body. Right? So if that's true about athletics, it has to be true about how you approach this whole game of education. The approach has to be the same. What do I mean by that? Jog 3 heats. Do enough to win. Don't burn yourself out. And that's what people are doing in their teaching jobs. They're burning themselves out. No, you still have your own 9 to 5 to go to. Okay? You understand? I've compartmentalized. Right? So if you want me to write your lesson plans for you, here you go. You want me to run social media ads for you? Here you go. You want me to manage your content for you? Here you go. You want to prepare your kids for their respective exams, PEP, CSEC? Here you go. Teach them reading, chess, solving a Rubik's Cube. Here you go. Over here, this is where if this is work and this is work and play. Right? So what I do here and here, I can show you how to do all of that here. So you want to learn how to make a page like this for yourself, you come here. You want to learn how to make a page like this for yourself, you go here. You want to learn how to have fun doing all of it, you go here. Leave something left for yourself. Because you give them your all only for them to tell you that you're not doing enough. That you're not doing a good enough job. All right, you disappointed them. Are you a disappointment to yourself? No. This is true self-love. Yeah. This is self-love. This is self-care. This is how you care for yourself. Build your own. Because when you have your own and your kids start disrespecting you, you look at them and say, do you know that they don't pay me enough to take this crap? You know that? Like the salary they give me is not enough for me to tolerate your crap. It's not enough. My monthly salary, I made that in 2 days. The monthly salary that these people give me, I made that in 2 days. I'm not even asking you. I'm telling you I made that in 2 days. So keep it up. Now keep making your noise. I don't care. No, when no administrators come to you and say, what was it that you said to the students? I'm like, you heard me. You heard, right? Did I hide it? Did I stutter? No, I said what I said. You want to fire me? Here's a resignation letter. Here you go. Keep it. I have a resignation letter for every day of the calendar year. I just printed off one for you. Here you go. That's what you want. And don't be ashamed to say it. Say that with your chest. Don't lower the bass in your voice. Don't do it. Make sure the bass in your voice louder than every speaker with Stone Love ever used in every era of dancehall in Jamaica. Make sure. Make sure. Because who are they? The students, to make you feel bad about you not doing your job correctly. When you have people that will willingly behave themselves, pay to come to your classes, and do the work that you ask them to do. You don't have to negotiate with them. They come in, they want to learn. And you should be what? Grateful for what? Well, you wouldn't have a job if it weren't for us. Maybe you're right, but I have a career outside of this. Yeah, that's the difference between being a rapper and an MC. I'm an MC. I'm the main character. I am the the master of ceremonies. I'm the microphone champion. What are you talking about? Rapper. Oh, my face with that. You don't pull my face with that. You crazy? You're a rapper. I'm an MC. You have a job. I have a career. It doesn't mean that you slack off on the job. Do your job. Write the lesson plans. Do everything that they ask you to do, but still do everything that you ask yourself to do. So give your best to both. And when I say your best to them might be your 20%. So, yes, go above and beyond, but go above and beyond for yourself. Work even harder on yourself. That way, when they come and they disrespect you, you look at them and go, I have 3 thriving platforms. Not 1, 3. 3 thriving platforms. 3. All of them monetized. People who recommend me. And I have a team of people who literally can say to you, look, this guy is a good teacher. But this is the problem. It goes back to the main theme. Teachers are not tired of teaching. They are tired of handling everything but teaching. That's the problem. That's the problem. Let me fix this up a little bit. Let me fix that up. I think it's because yeah, I look a little bit up. But you get the point. And don't be afraid. Post on LinkedIn, post on YouTube, post on Facebook, post on Instagram, post on TikTok, and also post on WhatsApp. Post on LinkedIn and wife it. The W is WhatsApp. The Y is YouTube. The F is Facebook. The I is Instagram. The T is TikTok. And when you want to reach out to me, that's an FYI. For your information, it means you go to the Facebook for the WhatsApp button. You go to the YouTube for the WhatsApp channel. You go to the Instagram for the Google form. If you're interested in my services, go to the Instagram, click on the Google form, and there you go. Yeah. Speaking of that, it means that I need to make a Google form for this, and this. So yeah, so I'm gonna have to what's the word? Update. Yeah, I'm gonna have to update that. Yeah. I have to make them updates. Yeah. Build something for yourself. And if you can't build it for yourself, I will teach you how to do it. That's why it's called We Still a Learn. So if you want to learn how to do it, go to We Still a Learn. If you're interested in building your own platform as a teacher, now if you want me to manage it for you, this is where you go. Right? Yeah. Now, students can have fun over here. This is where the students work. This is where the students play. So, if my former students want to be part of the skits that I do and, just have a good time and, yeah, we can do that. Shout out to B Dallas. All right. You're an inspiration, sir. So I have to give credit where it's due, Yeah. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, as teachers, you need to do more than just making marks, because since we all know pi, let's make this arc. And of course, that pi symbol means perspective is everything. The ARC, a real conversation about everything concerning education. So that's it. So if you need to reach out to me, you know exactly what each of these are for, right? You know what they're for. This is for the teacher. So if you're a teacher in need of any services in terms of enhancing your brand, writing your lesson plans, then there you go. If you want preparation for your students in PEP and CSEC, all subjects PEP for grades 4 to 6, right? CSEC and City and Guilds mathematics, yeah? Teaching reading and chess. And those can be one-on-one classes where that's concerned. Yeah. There you go. And then over here now, this is where if you're struggling with building the brand for yourself, I will teach you how to do that. This is for the teachers, this is for the students. So we're going to work and we're going to have fun. Don't just be a teacher, be a content creator. Because guess what? Life hard. Life is difficult. Life is difficult. Things are tough. Everybody's a content creator now. Everybody's a rapper now. Everybody's a stand-up comedian now. Everybody's trying to be a celebrity now. Not because everybody has a talent, but because everybody's that desperate. Everybody's that desperate. But everyone wants, but nobody wants to work. So you have to be willing to work. Okay? So I don't know if there's anything else to say, but don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't let anybody silence your voice and tell you, oh, you can't say that because you want to keep your job. Who told you I wanted to? I never said that. If you fire me, that's okay. I can live without it. I've been working towards living without a job for the longest. I'd love to not need a job. If I get to that point where I can live without it, then so be it. People act like here's the reality. The reality is rejection is redirection. So And it's really crazy because maybe I'm going to say this in another video. So I'll just leave that for the next time. All right? So that's it. All right? So for now, I'm gonna leave it there. If I have anything else on my mind, I'll just continue. So thanks for helping me, Bossman Teaching, to stay consistent. As I always tell you, honor your commitments. And remember, as teachers, we need to do more than just leaving marks. Because since we all know pi, let's make this art. And finally, the attitude always has to be, die when you die. Because discipline is everything when you do it